Jessica Aber, former Virginia prosecutor who led investigation into Russian nationals carrying out fraud in U.S. as well as CIA leaks, was found dead in her home on March 22, local media reported on Sunday. Police discovered Aber unconscious at 9:20 a.m. The cause of the 43-year-old lawyer is being investigated. The former prosecutor mainly investigated cybercrimes related to Russia, the covert activities of Russian companies in the United States, leaks from American intelligence and war crimes. She played a major role in the first criminal prosecution of Russian soldiers for crimes against a U.S. citizen in Ukraine. Under her leadership, the White House charged 2 Russian nationals with large-scale cyber fraud and money laundering. The prosecutor resigned in January after Donald Trump took office as president. According to preliminary reports, her death might be linked to a long-standing medical condition. Thousands of protesters rallied in Serbia on Monday against plans to turn a former army headquarters destroyed in a NATO bombing into a luxury complex financed by the firm of U.S. President Donald Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner. According to Associated Press, the protesters in Belgrade demanded that its former status as a heritage site be restored and that plans for the development project be scrapped. Tijana Bujozan, one of the protesters, said, "I am an architect and I think that it is unacceptable for anyone to demolish cultural heritage." The Serbian government last year approved a multi-million-dollar contract with Kushner to build the complex, including a 99-year lease on the land in the heart of Belgrade. Monday's rally was part of an anti-corruption movement in Serbia that started after a collapse in November of a concrete canopy at a train station in Serbia's north, which killed 16 people. Critics blamed the crash on government corruption, negligence and disrespect of construction safety rules during renovation. Monday also marked Remembrance Day for the victims of the 78-day bombing campaign that started on March 24, 1999. Serbs are still angry over the US-led NATO air war, launched to stop Belgrade's crackdown against separatist ethnic Albanians in Kosovo. The bombed-out former military compound has become a symbol of resistance. The development at the site would feature a Trump hotel, luxury apartments, office spaces and shops, along with a memorial for the victims of the bombing. Serbia's architects, engineers and opposition parties have opposed the agreement with Kushner, while President Aleksandar Vučić and his government have defended the plan as a way to modernize the capital. The almost daily demonstrations in Serbia have come to reflect wider discontent with over the decade-long rule of Vučić and his right-wing Serbian Progressive Party, accused by critics of stifling democratic freedoms and fueling graft and nepotism. Vučić has been a supporter of U.S. President Donald Trump. He has also nurtured close relations with China and Russia and refused to join Western sanctions against Moscow, despite formally seeking Serbia's entry into the European Union.
Ja sam danas došla isključivo zbog da dam podršku da se ne ruši generalštab, zato što jesam iz branše arhitekture i mislim da je više nedopustivo da se ruše sva kulturna dobra.
Došao sam da podržim studente i podržavam zadnja 4 meseca i pratim svugdje gdje su dešavanja i došao sam naravno i ovdje da, pošto jasno je šta se sve dešava u našoj državi i šta oni planiraju da urade od kulturnog nasleđa naše države i ja sam naravno protiv toga.
US and Russian negotiators on Monday sat down for talks in Saudi Arabia on a partial ceasefire in Ukraine, hours after a round of negotiations between US and Ukrainian delegations, Russian news report said. According to the Russian state TV, the negotiations had begun in the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in the capital Riyadh. The meeting is expected to be followed by another contact between US and Ukrainian teams. According to Associated Press, the separate meetings are set to discuss details of a pause in long-range attacks from both Russia and Ukraine against energy facilities and civilian infrastructure, as well as a halt on attacks in the Black Sea to ensure safe commercial shipping. Ukraine and Russia agreed in principle Wednesday to a limited ceasefire after US President Donald Trump spoke with the country's leaders, but the parties have offered different views of what targets would be off-limits to attack and accused each other of undermining efforts to reach a pause. While the White House said energy and infrastructure would be covered, the Kremlin declared that the agreement referred more narrowly to energy infrastructure. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenski said he would also like railways and ports to be protected.